All right, welcome back everybody to episode 7 of the Off the Bench podcast. Your host, Kobe and Hayden. Today we will be discussing the play-in matchups. Some game happening in a couple of hours, so by the time this is posted, we might be right, we might be wrong. We're going to be talking about our first team, third team, and our all NBA teams.
Yeah, first, second, and third. We're not missing the second team.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got that.
The UFC 314 recap.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing something different to start us off. We're doing a start edge cut this week.
I'll be explaining our new game. So what we're going to be doing today.
Before we get
into this, we just got to remember the reason the mic is in the middle now is because this idiot forgot his mic. He's remembered his glasses, but not his mic today.
Left us.
So okay. If you're wondering why there's just a mic in the middle, it's because my mic has to set up the both of us.
But that's so fun.
It's so fun. It's just so something you do.
It's not what I was going to say, but on a separate note.
Oh, I just thought it had to be brought up.
On another note, right? Different note?
Yes.
Volk with the belt back, baby.
Volk done it. Yeah, no, it's gone. I'm so happy he won.
I was absolutely shitting bricks that entire fight.
I couldn't believe it. I think, even with like 5 seconds to go, I was worried because Lopez just started throwing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, no. He could so get caught. I was like, please don't get caught.
I won't lie. He started like pointing and I was getting flashbacks to Gaethje Holloway. I was like, Volk, don't do it, bro. Don't you?
Volk couldn't have done it. He wouldn't have. He's not that silly.
He wouldn't have.
He's not that stupid. But, was I nervous? But
I was nervous, bro.
I paid for the pay-per-view. I sat at home, watched it. And I was as nervous as a guy could be. I've never been more nervous in my life.
I don't think my eyes have ever been glued to a screen the way it was for that 25 minutes.
Yeah. I had some of my mates go to North Gong. I couldn't go. And so I was like, stuff it. I'm going to have to buy the pay-per-view. I can't miss it.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't miss it. And so I was just like, nah, I'm glued. But we'll be talking about that later.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about this. I said, we just had to bring it up. We had to make it known.
How did we get it out of the way?
Volkanovski, you've saved my month.
He's the champion of it.
I would have been upset all month. You would have had the worst podcast episode ever. It would have just been two blokes crying. Yeah. But we're going to get into my game.
Let's see. I'm excited for this.
I've got a wheel spin with all the NBA teams. Okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to spin it and we're going to draft teams.
Yep.
Now, we're just trying to draft a team each and then we're going to argue about whose team's better.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of rules for the game. When the wheel is spun, I will say what it is. Let's say you are the one selecting first. It is an all-time selection. So you get to pick anyone all-time who's played on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get that version of that player. So you can't be picking up the Celtics and picking Shaq, but getting Lakers Shaq. You get Celtics Shaq.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get the version of the player that is on that team, and you get about 30 seconds to pick your player.
Okay.
Okay, to make it a little bit harder. You can't just go on your laptop. You will not have enough time to properly look up every player. Let's say you get the Hornets, you will not have time to be like, oh my God,
yeah,
who's the best player?
No searching.
You have to go off the top of your head.
Off the dome.
But yes, so that's what we're doing. And we're going to see who's going to get the best team. We're going to start. You will be able to select first. There's going to be 6 selections. So you'll have to pick starting 5. Well, I was going to do a starting 5 and a coach. But we can do a 6th man if you'd rather a 6th man.
Let's do 6 man.
Okay.
Let's do 6 man. All right, keep it. Yeah.
We'll do starting 5 and a 6th man. So then we each get 3 turns being first.
Mm-hmm.
But then we will also get 3 turns going second.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, let's go.
So let me get up the wheel spin. Let me get the recording ready because we do not want me to stuff this up. All right. So I'm going to spin the wheel first. You're going to have first pick. Okay? It's good sound effect. All right. Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
Yep.
Give me Harden.
James Harden?
Yeah, James Harden. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll give you James Harden. Can you write them down as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
You write down right teams?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to get, so James Harden would be your shooting guard.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick this is a hard one. Do I go... Oh, actually, no, it's not that hard. Hakeem.
Hakeem? Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking of T-Mac, and I was like, wait, there's a better player. I was like, there's a better player.
That's what I was...
Hakeem, 100%.
Yeah, that was what I was tossing.
Imagine if I picked T-Mac.
Is that who? Yeah.
Because I kept thinking of T-Mac.
Yeah, I was tossing between Hakeem and Harden, but
I don't know why I forgot about Hakeem.
Give me Harden this time.
Match. Oh, I would have been ripped into shreds.
100%.
Oh. All right, my turn. I love these sound effects.
They're awesome.
Utah Jazz. Okay. So I have Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
Give me John Stockton.
Okay.
Sing Carmeline. No, give me John Stockton.
John Stockton?
Yeah, give me John.
I'll take Carmeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you took a guard, whereas I already took like a center. And it was like, do I put Carmeline a power forward? And I was like,
That's what he is. So.
Yeah, I was saying that, but like, I was like, nah, let's just get myself a really good point guard.
Yeah.
A good defensive point guard. He's probably a good player to have in your team too.
Stop.
When you got a bunch of stars around him.
Yeah.
If I've got a bunch of stars, so I'll take that. Washington Wizards.
The Wizards.
Wizards.
Oh, shit.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking, like, what do I not want to pick? Like, what positions do I want to leave open? That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Not thinking what's the best player. What positions do I not want to pick?
That's what I mean. Like, my brain is telling me, like, John Wall. But I don't want John Wall.
Because then I'm thinking as well, if I pick a Beal or a Wall, then I'm taking away my shooting guard.
Yeah, I'm
Shooting guards are
excited. I don't,
oh,
you know what I mean? So,
whereas I'm thinking, like, if I take one of them and then I draft the Lakers or the Bulls, I'm going to throw something.
ew. Give me God, this one's absolutely tough.
I have no clue.
Kind of want to mess around just like Jordan as well.
You go Wizard order.
Give me,
No, I've got it.
give me Wes Unso.
Okay. Give me John Wall as my sixth man.
He's the only other guy I could think of. Oh, I forgot.
Give me John Wall as my sixth man. Okay, I'm so happy with that one. That's all right. He's a good sixth man, I guess.
Alright, yeah.
All right. My turn to pick first. Can't get worse than the Wizards.
Hot.
No. Not far off though. It was 2 away. No, I got Indiana Pacers.
That's alright.
Not bad. Just got to think of some great paces. Oh, Reggie. I got Reggie Miller. Oh, I want Tyrese Halliburton. Fucking got to go Reggie almost. I'm trying to think of another one that was amazing on the Pacers. When they were a Pacer, like
Lance Stevenson.
blow in the ear. Nah, give me Reggie Miller.
You ready?
Yeah, give me Reggie. That's shooting guard.
Alright.
He didn't play small forward, did he? No, it was all shooting guard.
Right, I'm going to take Paul George for my 6th move.
Probably should have taken that, but oh well. Actually, no. Reggie's probably the better player for the Pacers. Right. So what positions do we have open each?
I have a guard and a forward. You have your 2 forwards.
So I've limited myself here.
That's what I mean. Like, you kind of have to get.
I feel like it's going to get hard no matter what on your last choice, though.
Forwards?
The Bucks. Actually, that's not the worst one. For me, at least.
Right, you made a forward.
Yeah. Is it my choice first or yours? No, it's your choice first. I picked the Pacers one.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So what do I need? I need a guard and a forward.
Yeah, and you have the Bucks.
Giannis could play 3. He could play 3.
Oh,
He has played the 3.
it's a big team.
He has played the 3.
I don't know. I wouldn't be picking him, but sure.
I'm trying with you who else.
A name in my mind that you should pick, but I'm not going to tell you. There's a definite name in my mind. And I can hear people just yelling at you right now like, what an idiot.
I'm taking Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to take Kareem. He's going to be my power forward. Do I have a power forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take Kareem.
You said I had a big team, bro. You've got 2 centers.
Yeah, but like, I was going to put Giannis as my power forward. You should have taken Oscar Robertson as your point guard.
No, because I kind of want to leave that one to last. So here we go. Because
I reckon
Harden to play with one of the two. So if we get if we get Lakers and Kobe pops up, then
yeah, but I'm thinking like, you had a small forward. You could have put Kobe at small forward.
yeah, no, I'll leave.
You know what I mean?
I'll leave my guard stuff.
Like, I have a big team.
You do,
But that's because I wanted Giannis, but I didn't get Giannis, so I'm settling, and I think I'm just got to pick the best player that was available there.
yeah. No, well, I mean, I already had.
And I had 2 forwards, so I couldn't really. I mean, Oscar Robertson maybe, but he would have been a bit little there.
No, I mean, I wouldn't take Kareem. I've got Wes and I've got Karl Malone. So
That's why I thought you were going to take Oscar Robertson to be your point, and then you were hoping because I think there's more guys that can play small forward than there are that can play point guard.
no, I'm gonna leave that.
Like, you can have a bigger guy make him go small forward. You can have a smaller guy make him go small forward, but you don't have many guys that you can make a point guard. Yeah, you can do Harden, but like,
Harden is point guard, bro.
yeah, but like, not a playmaking point guard. He's a score first point guard. He would be score first.
I'd say he's 50-50, to be honest.
You have Rockets.
I'd say
Harden as well, though.
he would say
He was 36 points a game, Harden.
yeah, he's still there, but he still does leave assists.
I think he's still score first. All right, my choice first.
Yep.
What are you going to get? Yeah, okay. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Then you have a forward spot. So you've got Stockton, Reggie, Kareem, and Hakeem. And then John Wall's the 6 minute.
Small forward, so annoying. Because I want to take Kevin Garnett, but he is so big to have it in my small forward.
You've already got 2 centers.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like the only one I'm thinking of is I got to take Garnett, but I'm like, man, that's a big team. Like, way too big.
Yep.
Like, I would lose because I'm too big.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Who's been great on the Timberwolves if play small forward? And
Julius Randle.
no. It's like Jimmy technically, but he wasn't like great on the Timberwolves.
I mean, he was only really there for
Yeah.
that year. I think he was good.
Oh, Jimmy's not great on the Timberwolves. There's got to be someone I'm missing.
Let's take Andrew Williams.
Nah. That was Bust Wiggins.
No, it wasn't bad.
No, but
He wasn't great.
it wasn't great, but like in an all-time team, I'm not taking Wiggins.
Yeah, but
I don't know who you're going to take.
actually, I don't even take it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll put my. Oh no, I don't know who you're going to take. Thinking about Ant, I might take Ant and play him as small forward. Because I've already got a big team. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Take the shooting guard, put him at small forward.
Okay.
Give me Ant. But I'm missing someone.
That's what I was going to think.
Oh, really?
And I was going to bump Harden to the 1.
Yes. No, yeah, I'm taking Ant. I'm happy with that choice. He's been good.
Guard on the Timberwolves.
Guard on the Wolves. It's a hard choice. I don't actually know who you can really, like, who you would want to take.
Am I allowed to make a swap? Not like player, but move someone from the bench. Like, can I swap Paul George and the starter? Am I allowed to do that so I can take this person?
I mean, it wasn't in the rules, no.
So I can.
I wasn't going to say yes, but yeah, I'll let you do it.
Yeah. All right.
I'll let you do it just because I know if you don't, this team is going to be like, my team will be way better because you'll have not a great point guard.
No, well, it's like I've got someone in mind. It's just I think this would.
Okay, go. Yeah, I want to see who you got.
All right.
And what are you playing?
I thought this man to. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Cat as my center because I needed some shooting.
Okay.
So I've got Harden, Paul George, Giannis, Karl Malone, Cat, was unsold off the bench.
It's a massive team.
And then you've got, who do you say, Ant?
Yeah, I've got Ant as my guard.
And you've got Stockton, Reggie Miller, and Kareem, Hakeem, John Wall.
I reckon my team wins.
Of course you do. I think my team wins. I think, okay, let me give you a actual reason, right?
Give me a reason.
I think my team has the better scorers. Okay. I think my team has a better shooting.
I've got the best shooter on the court, though.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think overall my team has better shooting. You've got two guys, really, that can shoot the three.
Reggie and I got Ann.
Yeah. I've got Harden, Paul George, and Cat. All right, so I've got 40% three-point shooters.
Okay.
And then I think overall, I've got the better playmaker.
I think you're going to struggle.
You have the better playmaker.
Yeah.
But I think my team as a whole, your team is very like, all right, Stockton's a playmaker, and Reggie the scorers, Kareem Hakeem, you work in the post and you get rebounds. We're not.
I reckon
team is a bit more do it all.
See, I reckon what my team would do is you would have Stockton take the ball up, Reggie, you put him in the corner, just to start. You're putting Ant over on that side. You've got the two big men, and I think Cat will struggle defending Hakeem, and he will struggle defending Kareem.
But I think you can say the same the other way around. I think they would.
Well, Hakeem's going to do sweet. Hakeem will be sweet.
No, but I think they would also struggle going Cat.
Yeah, I mean,
a shooter, right?
Everyone will struggle, but
stretch the floor.
Hakeem is a great defender.
Then realistically, you could also put Giannis around and Kareem and Hakeem.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
who you have to go with Cat. Yeah.
It's a little
Reggie Miller.
But it's a little bit small.
Stop it.
A little bit small.
That's what I'm saying. I think your team
is your playing Cat on the three and you're not playing him in the middle because otherwise it'll be too congested having three in the middle. I mean, he'll be out in the 3-point line. Yeah, he'll shoot over whoever I put out there, no matter what. But I feel like having that smaller player on him will be like less detrimental because he's on the 3-point line. Whereas if you played him in the middle, yeah, you've already got two guys in there. And then we'll just drag Hakeem in. We would just drag Hakeem in and play zone.
But Giannis and Malone can play the middle as well. Like, they don't have to be in the summer. Like, they've both got jumpers.
Giannis doesn't really have the jumper.
Right, he's got a midi.
Yeah, but not like...
It's pretty good this year.
This year's the first year he's had like a...
No, the last couple of years, it's gotten gradually better. What I was saying...
It was pretty bad.
Overall, I think my team is better. I think your team has players with better individual talent.
I would say, though, with Harden running the point, there's too many guys who need the ball in your team.
Not really, bro. I'll just say multiple playmakers.
No, like, Harden likes ISO ball. He likes playing himself into scoring, right? Paul George is pretty similar. That's why he hasn't worked as a second or third option lately, because he demands the ball too much.
But I'm taking Pacers Paul George.
He was the star then. So
yeah, but
he wasn't the second guy, but he ended up being that.
But he was an off-ball player on the Pacers a lot.
And then you got Giannis, who's not an off-ball player.
But all of these guys...
all I'm saying is they might struggle not getting the ball all the time.
But they all work really well off-ball, that's what I'm saying. Pacers Paul George, as a cutter and a three-point shooter, was excellent.
He was.
Giannis is a cutter.
What about the rest?
They tell it.
Giannis always has the ball.
Play Cat and screen and roll.
Cat is the one where I'm like, yeah, he was sweet off the ball. But the rest of them not really.
Like Giannis in the pick and roll.
I don't think the rest of them...
player, and Harden is the best pick and roll.
I thought you were going to say Carmelo. Oh, yeah, Carmelo would be your best pick and roll player.
No, I think this is better. Carmelo in pick and roll.
And that shocks me a little bit, because I'd be sitting on the spot Stockton Malone did all the time.
Yeah.
But I think you guys will struggle with needing everyone to have the ball, whereas my team has less guys that need the ball all the time.
No, really.
Like, Reggie doesn't always need the ball. Like, you can play him as a catch and shoot almost.
But that's what I'm saying about Paul George, and you're saying the opposite.
Yeah, I'm saying I think he needs the ball more. Ant needs the ball. Ant needs the ball.
Reggie needs the ball because he's only a scorer.
He is a scorer, but I think you can play him as a catch and shoot. Whereas I don't think you can do that to Ant. I know you can't do that to Ant.
Stockton needs the ball.
Yeah, he's more of a playmaker, get the ball to other guys. So.
Hakeem needs the ball.
Yeah, I play him as a defense guy.
So you wouldn't even really use him on the offense?
Not a heap. I would like in the middle, but not like what you're thinking, no.
And then even off the bench, bro, John Wall needs the ball.
Yeah, but he's going to sub out someone who needs the ball.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you're not against me. Was that too many?
I think both of our teams have too many guys who need the ball. I don't think we thought about.
I think my team is better overall. Yours is better. Like I think Stockton is the best playmaker, but I think my team is a better playmaking team.
Nah, see, that's where I disagree. I reckon. Yeah.
I don't know how, but I think sure.
I don't reckon. It'd be one of those games where I don't think it would be. It would depend on errors too a little bit.
Let's say,
like, I think it would depend on that era thing a little bit more. Like, if it was in today's era, your team would do probably a little bit better than mine because you have more 3-point guys. Whereas if it was back in the day, our team would do a little bit better.
But what happens? I've still got 3-point guys.
Yeah, but they didn't really shoot the ball back then. It was different rules. That's where I think those.
Yeah, but I've got players that will still shoot 3.
Yeah, but it was different rules. Like I'm saying, imagine.
What do the rules have to do with shooting a 3 or
Well, because you end up getting the hand check rule, you get all those things.
Well, what does that have to do with shooting a 3?
Oh, hey, let me finish. Like, imagine Cat having to defend back then.
Yeah, but then vice versa.
That's what? Defending a Cat.
And Hakeem having to defend Cat.
He'd be sweet, man.
Still to shoot the 3.
It's Hakeem.
Still to shoot
Right, 3 would be sweet against Cat. And I think Cat. Yeah, but if Cat's out there shooting the 3 all the time, you're pretty happy. Because Cat, when you watch him play, he doesn't shoot contested 3s very often. He gets himself good 3-pointers to shoot. He doesn't shoot many contested 3s. Look at it, bro. Look him up. Watch him.
He had a 3-point game winner the other day over someone.
Yeah. He's allowed to hit them every now and again. I'm saying the majority of his shots are, like, he doesn't get them and create the 3. He gets them and just shoots the 3 when it's there.
He creates them.
Not very often. Not to the effort I think you're thinking he does. Nah.
Not to the effort of a James Harden.
No, obviously. Yeah, I'm not ranking him against James, but
for a big man, he's a pretty good shot creator.
Yeah, but that's because he's a big man and you're saying that. Like, compared to other big men, yeah, he's amazing at it. He is the best 3-point shooter ever out of big men.
Mm-hmm.
But see how you keep saying, for a big man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying back in the day, I reckon Hakeem would have been sweet against Cat. Whereas nowadays, I think it would have been a struggle because he couldn't hit Cat. He couldn't bang him up. Those type of things where nowadays your team flogs mine because you have so many better 3-point shooters. Like Harden, for example, you know those silly fouls he always gets. Back in the day, he doesn't get those. A lot of his scoring is from the free throw line. And sometimes I swear, he misses 3-point shots on purpose to get to the line. Like, you know what I mean? Like he kind of goes a little bit overboard. But, so back in the day, Harden would have struggled a bit because he wouldn't have got those free throws. Whereas nowadays, he can probably get fouled out.
I think what we need to do next week, if we do this one again, is we need to spin a wheel on Harris as well. Because I feel like I can pick and choose a lot.
Errors does change things for a lot of people.
I'm still going to stand on it, but my team, let's say 7-game series.
Okay.
I mean, my team wins like 4-2.
I would say mine take 4-3. That's our 7 games. I reckon it's going 7.
I'd take 6. My team 4-2.
We're never going to agree on this, guys, unless it's a massive difference. Unless my team had like MJ, Kobe, LeBron, and your team had goddamn Seth Curry.
Julius Randle.
And Julius Randle. We're never going to agree. As soon as the teams are close, we're always going to disagree.
Yeah. Okay.
But that is our Spin the Wheel game for today. That went a lot longer than I expected.
I do like that, though. I do.
A whole lot longer than I expected. How do I stop this recording? There we are.
Got it?
I have got the recording finished.
All right. Let's talk about play-in predictions.
Playing predictions. I like this.
All right. So let's start off with the West.
Can I just say, I was so annoyed the Warriors lost. So upset with that.
So I think that's going to be a great game, but...
Oh, it'd be a great game, but I wanted the Warriors to win. Even though I think if the Warriors beat Memphis, they're better off because then they get to play the Lakers in the second round.
Well,
like I think they'll be
if they won, they would have versed the Lakers in the first, I think. And I think they would have lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
yeah.
All right. I'll be honest, this game, it's the first one, so just so everyone knows.
Yep.
7-8 matchup is Golden State, Memphis for the West and Orlando, Atlanta for the East. And they're both games happening today. One of them starts in like half an hour.
Yeah, one starts at 9:30.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about the West first. So 7-8, Warriors, and Memphis. Who do you have?
Give me the Warriors. I think the Warriors will win this game. I think the only thing that will make the Warriors lose this game, there's two things that will make them lose. One is Jar just going off.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is kind of like that Clippers hangover. Like they come off that Clippers game, the disappointment of, we should have won.
Yeah.
We should have gone through. They had that Steph 3-pointer to put them up 4 late. And when I was watching it live, it felt like, there we go, game. Draymond missing a layup in overtime to tie the game is, what are you doing, man? You know, there was a couple of things, Draymond giving the foul to Kawhi, even though Kawhi ended up missing the game winner, you were going to get a shot. And you might have been able to contest that shot and Kawhi miss it, and then you get a shot. But instead you foul him and give them the last shot to make it go to overtime. There's a couple of things Draymond did wrong. So that unless they have that type of hangover, I do have the Warriors winning.
All right. On the opposite, I picked Memphis.
Really?
Yeah, and I okay on it as well.
Oh my God. You've got Memphis. Okay.
I've got Memphis.
What? Was it one of the reasons I said?
Kind of, right. I've got two things. I think it all depends on Jimmy. I think Steph.
Yeah, Jimmy's a little bit banged up.
I think Steph is going to play really well.
He always does, yeah.
I think he just does. So it's going to depend on everyone else. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can they step up? But also the Warriors are 0-3 to play in. They've been in the play-in every year and they've lost it every year.
I don't think that's going to play a role, though. I don't think their history in the play is going to play a role.
But I think, in the last couple of years, big-time moments, they haven't done it. So I got Memphis. I think they're built for it a little bit more. I think the matchup leans in their favor.
Okay. I think it'll be a good game.
I think it's going to be a great.
I think it'll be a very good game. A lot of animosity between the two teams.
Yeah, I think
they hate each other.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great man. But I got Memphis. I think they're just all around a little bit better, and the Warriors just don't have a good playing record.
I just think the Warriors will get it done. I think they'll win. It'll be one of those ones where, like, I think the Warriors will just do it. You know what I mean? In watching it, you just be like, oh yeah, Warriors just took care.
Yeah,
they just took care of business. I think it'll be one of those games. I think the Memphis will try and make it a bully game. And if Warriors do not fall in the trap, they win. If they do fall in the trap, they might lose.
But that's like
if they let Memphis. That's what I'm saying. If they let Memphis get them into the way Memphis want to play, you will probably be right.
But I think they will, because I think Draymond will.
Yeah, but Warriors have learned how to just like let Draymond do his thing and not give a shit. Like Steph doesn't. You don't really see Steph get into it, no matter what Draymond does, because Draymond will do it on a random Tuesday.
Yeah, Steph.
And so you've got a few of the players on the Warriors that are just like immune to it now. They're like, Draymond will do that the 5th game of the season against the Hornets.
Yeah. But if Draymond marks up this game,
it could have implications. Yeah. All right. We go across to the East.
The East side, we got Orlando at 7, Atlanta at 8.
Honestly, don't really care who wins. They're both going to lose in the first round anyway, but I had them both going through in the end. I have Orlando.
Yeah, I've got Orlando.
I have Orlando winning, and then I think the Hawks will win the next game, no matter what. I think they'll end up playing the Bulls and win.
Okay.
That's what I think will happen in the East. So it'll be a Magic, Celtics, Hawks, Caps. That's what I think will happen.
Okay. And then I think so I got Orlando as well. I think they're too big.
Yeah.
They're just...
I think Paolo will go quite well. I think he'll have a good game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be an easy win for the Magic. And then I think the Hawks will beat the Bulls. And then we going back to the West.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Mavs, Kings tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a very good game.
I think
they're quite evenly matched.
I'll be honest. I think if Dallas wins that one. I think the only reason that that low in the first place is because of how many injuries they were dealing with right after the Luka trade. Like there were some games where they were playing 8 players and 3 of them were guys that they had to call up from their G-League team.
Yeah, that's true. They had a big lull because of the AD injury and all of their guys got injured.
They had no center for like 2 months, right?
Yeah, they had so many injuries.
They've kind of got everyone back now. All the main.
I think there was a better team.
So definitely give you Dallas. I think if it wasn't for the injuries, they would be in that 7-8 game. I don't think they would be top 6, but I think they'd be in the 7. Yeah, I don't think they'd be in the 10 seed.
Yeah, I agree. Moving to the playoffs, okay?
Well, the play, we still got Bulls Miami.
I already said who I have winning that.
Oh, I got Chicago.
That's what I said. I said the Bulls will win that and the Hawks will beat the Bulls.
Well, I got Chicago over the Hawks.
Really? So you reckon the Bulls will go in? Okay.
I mean, everyone's playing really well. They finished the season off really strong.
I could see it. I just have the
Legs under them.
getting through. I do. I've seen they're a better team. Yeah. Okay, moving to the playoffs. We're just going to say this. We're not going to talk about the Cavs, the Celtics matchups, because I think they're both 4-game series.
Yep.
I think I'll almost be surprised if they're 5-game series. Like, I think Magic, Hawks, or Bulls will all just get swept. I could just see that happening.
Yep.
Just to start off.
Yep.
But I'm going to ask you who you have winning each series, in how many, and why. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to start in the East because I've already talked about those other 2 series that we're not really needing to talk about.
Well, do we want to just do the 4-5 matchups for now and the 3-6? Because 1-8 and 2-7 as a
Yeah, so we can. I still have my 1-8,
like I'm
2-7s.
I know for the East, I think the Cavs and the Celtics win regardless, but I think the Houston game especially could.
I have that being. I just want to talk about one of them. Okay. So anyway, Knicks Pistons.
Pistons.
Okay.
Pistons in 5 or 6.
Oof.
Detroit, baby.
Really?
Yep.
No.
I know that since we've started this podcast,
You have been glazing.
I've had a massive Pistons glaze.
You have been absolutely glazing Pistons.
I mean, the Knicks, they're not really healthy.
Oh.
Brunson's just coming back off of an injury, and he hasn't looked great. And he's so much of their offense, especially in the playoffs. I think even guys like Cat, as good as he's been this year, he's kind of slowed it down over the last couple of weeks. OG been playing really well, but I mean, how much do you count on him in the playoff series to be like one of your main players? I think Detroit, they've just had a really good year. I think they're all really feeling it. And I reckon they're going to come out gun swinging, whereas I think the Knicks are kind of a little bit drained.
I think the Knicks in 6. I think the Knicks have been in the East the best team when they're not playing the Celtics or Cavs. Like, their record against everybody else is great.
They're wrestled against above 500 teams in general, so winning teams.
Yeah, it isn't amazing.
Garbage.
But I think the Knicks will pull this one, they'll win this one, and then they'll lose the next round after. I think they win in 6.
What was their season series?
With the Pistons?
Yeah.
Can't lie, I haven't really looked at them too much.
That's all right. I know that the Pistons won earlier this week, I think.
I think Jalen Brunson will remind everyone who he is in this series. If I'm honest.
So
I think he will remind everybody who he is.
I don't really see that though, because
I reckon he'll come out and just... Even though...
So the Pistons won all 3 matchups.
Pistons aren't exactly healthy either.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Cade Cunningham's on a day-to-day. I didn't even know this, by the way. I just saw it right now.
No, that's just because he didn't play last game of the season.
Yeah, no. Just day-to-day, same as Isaiah Stewart, and then Jaden Ivey's just out.
Yeah, he's been out since October. But
I don't know how serious those would be, but in saying that, you got Brunson, you got Josh Hart, you got OG, you got Cat all day-to-day. I think it'll be a good series between 2. I think it's going to be like that Knicks-Hawks series in like the animosity type of thing, because I think Pistons will really get under the Knicks' skin a bit.
Yeah.
But I still have Jalen Brunson being the best player in the series. I think he's going to remind everyone who he is. So I got Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I think he's going to have an absolute flop of this series.
I think it all rides on Jalen Brunson.
I don't.
Either way.
Like, ever since he's come back from his injury, he has not looked good.
I just think he's going to remind everyone. All right, moving on. Pacers Bucks.
I got Bucks.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's going to be a Giannis masterclass.
I think so. I think
Bucks in 7.
I think the Bucks are going to go a lot further in the playoffs than what everyone thinks. I think Giannis has been on a tear.
He's been absolute animal. He's an animal lately.
I've got Bucks in 5, to be honest. I reckon
So I said Bucks in 7.
I reckon he's going to come out and he's like...
I think I gave the Pacers 3 games because I think as an all-round team, they've been very good. And without Dame, I know the offense has been looking better from the Bucks because Giannis have been amazing.
Yeah.
But I think I'm giving the Pacers at least 2 games that they'll claim.
Yeah.
Just because of their team.
I mean, I could say it. Like, I'm not going to argue.
Like, it'll be 6 or 7, but I'll have Bucks in 7. I still have the Bucks winning.
Yeah.
I think, same reason as well. All right, into the West.
So,
Lakers, Timberwolves.
Lakers.
Yep, how many?
6, I reckon.
Lakers in 6 is what I got written down.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much to talk about. I think it's a better team.
Yeah, that's it, really.
I think it's just a better team.
Kind of feel bad for Rudy Gobert, though. You know, constantly getting matched up with Luka.
Yeah, I know.
Every playoff series.
Just getting
There's fights of who getting cooked every year.
And I feel bad for him a little bit. Moving on, Nuggets, Clippers.
I have Clippers in 6.
I have Clippers in 6 or 7.
They've also been on an absolute tear.
I think
they have been healthy.
Jokic will earn you 2 to 3 games, but I still have the Clippers winning. I think the Clippers are just a better team.
They've been playing really well.
Zubac has been playing really well, which is big because he's the one who's going to have to defend Jokic.
On the other end, I don't think Jokic can really guard anything, but I think he's going to struggle against Zubac.
Well, yeah, I think it's really big that their center is playing really good. Because if it was like, Harden's been amazing, which he has, and the Kawhi's been amazing, which he has, but they're the only 2 things, I'd be a little bit worried. So I'm like, the guy we got to worry about is a big man. So the fact that their big man is playing well is really good to see for the Clippers.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers will go quite deep in the playoffs. I could see them knocking off your Thunder, almost. I could see it happen.
I wouldn't go that far.
Like, I'm not going to pick them in the series. I'm not going to pick them as the winner. But I could see them really giving them a run for their money. Like, it'll be a real tough series.
I think it'd be a good series, but
I would see them, like, I would pick the Thunder. Yeah. But I think it's going to be very close. Like, I think it'll be a run for your money. And I could see, like, Kawhi just cooking. If he's not injured.
If that ends up being the matchup, I'd say OKC in 5, but it's 5 very close games.
So I like that Boston sweep of the Nets.
Yeah.
Right, like all of them.
I don't see there being a blowout either way. I think every game is within 5-10 points.
I think it'll be like, you guys will get a run for your money, but it will really test whether you guys are championship medal.
Yeah.
So this is the one I want to talk about. We won't talk about the Thunder versus the 8th seed because if we don't know who it is,
could be anyone.
I think versus the Warriors will be a good series. Versus the Grizzlies, I'll have you guys in 4 or 5. Versus the Mavs, 4 or 5. I think only the Warriors will take you more than that. You still beat them though. I want to talk about the Rockets series because I think this is interesting. Do you think everyone's counting out the Rockets wrongly? Or do you think that the Rockets, everyone's kind of just been looking at them saying, no, it's just not their year? Like, how do you think, like, because everyone I see is counting the Rockets as an easy.
I love seeing that.
I mean, like, everyone's like, if the Grizzlies play, Grizzlies will go to the second round. The Warriors plays, the Warriors will go to the second round. I'm like, they are the 2 seed.
I don't think it's as easy. I think they're getting the same treatment that OKC got last year, that they're too young, they're inexperienced. But while their bets might not be great, Steven Adams,
they still have bet,
is an excellent player.
Yep.
Dylan Brooks, as much as I don't like him.
Yeah. He's very good.
He's playoff proven, right? Fred VanVleet is a champion, right? Jalen Green is so great.
What I bet saying is their big 3 is just not playoff proven. That's the problem. And they don't have a specific scorer. And they don't have a guy that you're like, turn it up, give it a jar. Turn it up, give it a Steph. Give it a Luka, LeBron. You know what I mean? That's what I keep saying. This is just what everyone keeps saying.
But they haven't had that all year. And that's not the way that their team is built.
I think they're getting a bit counted out. I think if they play the Grizzlies, they smash it.
I don't think they smash it.
I think they'll beat them in 6. I think they'll come out, and I think the Rockets are looking at this and going, hold on, we're the 2 seed. Why is everyone saying we're the easy series? I would love to see a Warriors-Rockets series. I think it'll be a very close series.
See, I think Memphis Rockets would be closer than Warriors Rockets.
What, you reckon Rockets would smash the Warriors?
Yeah.
No.
I'd pick Rockets in 5 or 6.
No, see, I have the Warriors in
6. Either going 7.
I could see the Warriors in 6 versus the Rockets. I could see, like, it'll be a Draymond Dillon Brooks fiasco at least once or twice. And I think Steph will take control of the series, and then they'll go against the Lakers and lose. That's what I think will happen to the Warriors.
If it ends up being the matchup, I don't think the Warriors have enough options for their defense. Like Houston's defense is amazing. And I just think the Warriors don't have enough options. Like, yeah, Steph might play well, but I don't think he's going to play efficiently. I think he might have 25, but it might be on 20 shots. So who else is going to score?
I reckon Warriors... Well, I mean, it'll be interesting where the playoff Jimmy comes out.
So I didn't play after Jimmy might be calling.
I don't think it'll happen either. But that's what I'm saying. It'll be interesting because I said the same thing 2 years ago and he ended up smashing my Celtics.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But yeah, I think that'll be a really interesting series, the Rockets one, because I think everyone's counting them out and they're better than people think.
They're 100% better than people think. I reckon if it ends up being Memphis, I could see it going 7. I don't know which way it would go. I could see it on either. But with the Warriors, kind of like, with what I just said, I could see Houston winning in 5 or 6.
Yeah. I don't know about the 5 or 6 against the Warriors. I think Warriors win that series, but that's okay. Because we've got to move on. Right. And we need to move on to the All-NBA teams.
Let's go.
Because they get picked. When will they get picked? Soonish. Soon.
They've started doing the awards weird. So ever since they stopped doing
like the awards
show,
yeah,
they kind of just drop them
random.
Like it's like once a week.
There'll be a different come out,
yeah.
Which I don't love, if I'm honest.
I'm not a fan either, but
like I don't care if you do an award ceremony or not, but
I think
they used to have the MVP get announced at a game, and like the award ceremony is better, and I don't know, it seems a little bit informal.
The award ceremony, I think, was the best part of it.
Yeah, like
I remember when I first started getting into it, I had the award ceremony on, and Westbrook won MVP, and that was cool, bro. Yeah, the Giannis's one was cool. You got all emotion.
You get to have the speeches. You had the KD speech.
Exactly. You have your teammates up there. Like, it's a whole thing. Whereas now it just kind of gets posted on Twitter and that's it.
Now it's just like, oh, cool, you won.
Congratulations.
And like, oh, really good for you. Yeah. I don't like it.
No, I mean,
I really don't.
I'm going to bring the award show back. Yeah. But anyway.
In full agreement.
Let's go third, second, first, Toby.
Do you want me to read mine and you judge? You read yours.
Let's go like player for player. So just who do you have on your third team?
Well, let's go team for team because it's kind of hard to go player for player.
Team.
So my third team: Harden, Cade,
yeah,
Jalen Williams,
yeah,
Brunson,
yeah,
Jaren Jackson Jr. That's my third team. And that's fair. They've all had really good years. I think it's hard when you're picking an All-NBA teams as well because when you go between, they should be second or first or whatever, you're picking like really nitpicking on little things. Like they've all had amazing years. Yeah, that's my third team. I think that Harden's had a great year. I don't think he's any higher than third team, same as Cade's had a really good year, but I think also the way people are really up about him is because it's his first really good year. So I think third team's suitable for him. Jalen Williams, he's had a really good year. Really good year. Been a little bit overshadowed because of SGA's year. But he's been really good.
Yeah.
Brunson's been really good except for his injury. But he's had a good year before that, averaging 26 a game. He really is just the cornerstone of that Knicks team. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., great defensively. He's had a really good year.
All-star season. He played really well.
Yeah.
Right, I had, for my third team, I didn't put Brunson on. I don't think he's met the requirement. You know how you have to play 65.
I think he has. I think I looked it up. I think he played 65.
Exactly.
Pretty sure. I'm going to look it up. I had a look at him.
I don't know if that counts. The game that just happened where they all sat out. You know what I mean?
Let's have a look. Jalen Brunson. 65 games.
Exactly.
Played on the dot.
Okay.
Because I remember looking through it because I was worried with his injury whether he had played. Yeah, 65. He's played on the dot.
Well, I didn't put him on.
Because I remember I was looking at KD as well.
Yeah.
Because he's had a great year.
Yeah.
And I was like, amazing. He hasn't played enough games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'd leave him off regardless.
Okay.
I've got my third team. I have James Harden. I have Jaren Jackson. I have Jalen Williams. But I have Şengün and I have Steph.
You have Steph in the third team?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Well, until Jimmy got there, he wasn't really having a very good season. He's kind of picked it up a bit since then. And, you know, they finished off as a 7 seed. He has had a solid year individually. Well, I just don't think he's had a better year than the guys I've put
above him. Okay. Like I said, I was actually tossing up a little bit with Steph, but where I have him, I think is perfect for him. Mm-hmm. He's in my second team.
See, I just don't think he or the team has been good enough for him to be second. I don't think you can leave him off him. I don't think you can leave him off the list completely.
I think he's a second team. Like, I've seen people talk about him as a first team player, and I've been like I've heard people say he's first team over Donovan. I'm like, no, take it back a step. He's not first team. He's second or third. I have him as second. He's been really good lately, especially, and I think, especially coming into the voters' minds, a lot of them would not forget, but they would come off the feeling of, oh, he's had 2 50-point games quite recently. He's been amazing recently, and I think that recency bias will come into his selection as well.
Yeah. That's what since the trade deadline, he's played much better than he did at the start of the season.
And I think the voters, some of them will overskip that start of the year because they'll remember the end of the year more so. I think that's a big part of it. So I do have Steph in my 2. But read me your second team, because I'll go second for this one.
All right, for this one, I had Cat.
Mm-hmm.
I had Evan Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
I had Bron.
Mm-hmm.
I had Cade. And I had Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
In my second team.
Yep. I've only got, well, obviously the Cade Curry thing we've already said with Scott.
Swapped it over, yep.
I have one other difference. I don't have Donovan.
Yep.
I have Ant.
Okay.
And I think for me, it is that little bit of best player on the best team in the East. I gave him the nod.
Yeah.
They've had pretty similar years. Yeah. Donovan doesn't always, like the Cavs are a little bit more, oh, let's give it to the other guys than the Timberwolves. But I think that's just because of how good that team is. Doesn't matter. I have Mobley too. I have Cat and I have LeBron.
Yeah.
And then my first team, SGA, Donovan, Jason Tatum, Giannis, Jokic.
Yeah. I had the same. I just swapped Donovan.
Yeah. I feel like these years, all NBA teams are pretty easy. There's not that many that is like, oh, well, who really should be in this team?
Well,
especially the first team. Like, we all know SGA, Jokic, Giannis, Jason Tatum have been the 4 best players for a year.
Yeah. I think the 65 gang refinement really
changes it.
Makes it harder. Because otherwise, like, I was thinking of guys like Paolo. I was going to put Paolo in there in my third team. But he doesn't play.
Well, you would have had KD in your second team.
Would have had KD. Would have had Paolo.
Yeah, Mobley probably slides down to your third team if you have KD in there.
I think it changes a lot if guys met that requirement. But yeah, that's something we just did.
I do like the requirement. I think it's good.
I think it makes sense. You know, you get the rewards if you get play your games.
And 65's not that many. You still get to miss 17 games. That's a lot of games missed. Like, I think 65 is a good number. It's like, yep, you are playing enough that you earn your spot.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, I saw a lot of people when it first got introduced be pretty upset about it, but I think it makes sense to me.
Like, why should you be in the All-NBA team if you played 50 games?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you miss 30 games and allowed to be in the All-NBA team? I think that is more silly than being told you have to play 65.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise then you'll get people like Kawhi gets thrown in there for playing 40 games.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you can't miss half the season.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So yeah, I like the 65 game rule.
All right, let's talk about quick little 314 recap.
Oh, I loved it. We were very good at picking 314. I don't know why I didn't bet.
Well, I did. And I got it all right. Right, my multi-hit. I was very happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go through.
Good.
Let's go through the main card.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the prelims were also pretty good.
I did miss the prelims. I didn't get to watch them.
Well, I've only seen replays.
I missed the Krylov Reyes fight. I turned on my pay-per-view and it was showing a replay of Reyes knocking him out.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. So I was 30 seconds off seeing a first round knockout, which is quite annoying to miss. But I heard Reyes put on a clink. He had a really good win. First round, so you don't get too much of a say. Like, get to see how good they were playing because you're like, oh, well, he kind of just knocked him out.
Yeah, but that little counter hook, it was smooth.
It was nice, yeah.
It was good.
So that was great for for Dominic Reyes.
I'm happy that Reyes is on a bit of a win streak. I think there's 3 in a row now. And again, he'll jump back up into the top 10.
Which is great for him.
So,
Put him back in contentions of getting himself up there again.
which is good. Which is awesome.
Mm.
All right.
There's
Stuff. Bryce Mitchell and Jean Silva.
Jean Silva put on a clinic.
He's
an absolute psycho.
yeah.
Jumping up on the cage, barking at people. Like, he is such a psycho.
He's insane,
But he's cool. I like it. I think Bryce Mitchell, he was almost tentative.
yeah.
Watching it, I was like, like, he was okay on the feet at the start. He was quite sound. He didn't get himself rocked early, really, or anything like that. He did quite well. But John Silva's takedown defense was impeccable.
Yeah.
Bryce tried, I reckon, 5 or 6 times. Couldn't get him anywhere.
I don't want to say he was, but he looked kind of scared, if I'm being honest.
In the second round,
That's Bryce.
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting choked. And I was like, okay, yeah, it was hazy.
As well.
He was out.
Yeah.
He was proper out. And I thought it was really weird as well, like, not touching gloves or anything.
No, because they didn't like each other.
No, but like, I thought it was weird that, like, John Silva kept going at him to touch gloves, and Bryce was like, no. But it was like, usually when a guy says, no, I don't want to touch gloves, they'd get angry and try and smash the other guy. He would say no and then go into a shell.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was weird. I was like, okay, but if you're not going to touch gloves, don't go in your shell and be like, oh, I'm just trying to fight. No, not touching gloves is showing, I want this to be a war.
Yeah.
So that was weird to me.
And
It was like,
wasn't.
yeah, it was.
It was a very one-sided war.
He got smashed. Yeah.
Then we had Rodriguez and Pitbull.
I'm going to put this out there. I was disappointed in Pitbull.
Well, it was kind of like what I said to you the other day. I think it
Yeah.
just shows the skill gap between UFC contenders
But again,
and other organizations.
he looked tentative.
I don't think he was tentative.
Off shows looked very tentative.
I just don't think he knew what to do. I think because there was a 5-inch height and reach gap, which is massive.
But you know that coming in.
Yeah. But it's different thinking about it compared to standing here and it's happening, because a lot of the fight was Rodriguez just piecing him from the outside.
I feel like then his whole camp would have been surrounded by, give me guys the spar that are bigger than me.
Yeah.
We're going to work on my long range. We're going to work to transition into mid range and short range. He looked tentative.
Yeah.
It was a really good performance, but yeah,
It looked really good.
it looked really good. I thought Pitbull would have taken him down, and he didn't even try.
I don't even think he landed a takedown.
No, he didn't. I don't think so, at least. Or if he did, it was a short one. It wasn't a long.
He landed one.
Yeah. He just looked tentative. But as you said to me, and we'll talk about it, it shows the difference between a Bellator champion and a UFC fringe contender. I would say he's a fringe contender. He's not like a serious contender. He's not Angela. But yeah, that showed the differences. But then the next fight was fight of the night.
It was amazing.
It was so good. And I love Paddy.
I love Paddy.
I think he's so funny. He had performance of the night. I think he's ready for a top contender.
Yeah.
I think if he beats top contender, then he gets the opportunity for a title shot. His performance was amazing.
I mean, Shearwood did absolutely knock it.
And he made him nothing. Yeah, he wouldn't do anything. So he TKOs Chandler after being told Chandler's going to knock your chin off.
Yeah.
And Chandler's the better guy on the feet.
And
Or meant to be. But
he's a submission guy as well.
Yeah.
He didn't even really try. He was like, no, I'm going to come in there and I'm just going to,
like, he did take him down.
I'm going to belt you.
But when he took him down, it was like, I'm going to just ground and
It
pound.
was a for ground and pound, yeah.
And then he would try and, like, he'd ground and pound him. All right, now I'll do a little submission. Oh, that didn't work. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was
That knee,
It was just a few rounds.
Chandler comes into that mid-range and he bang, kneed him, cut him wide open.
It was domination. I had a few mates who I was watching the fight with, and they're Chandler fans, and I'd spend, I want to say 3-4 weeks telling them Chandler's going to get absolutely dog walked by Paddy,
He got walked.
and he got absolutely dog walked.
He got dog walked. He got smashed. It was horrible for Chandler, and I don't know what's next for Chandler. Well, every single time he faces a contender, he gets smashed.
Well, I think he's lost 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
And yes, he's fought good guys, but
That means you can't be a contender. If you fight Oliveira and not lose to Oliveira, but get smashed on the feet by Oliveira as well a bit. Like Oliveira was having his way on the feet a bit with him.
in the second fight, no, the second fight was mostly
No, it was
on the ground. The first fight was a lot of
no. The first fight was a bit more even though. But if you watch the second fight, even on the feet, like you would think Chandler on the feet would be, yep, let's go. Oliveira would be like, oh, I need to wrestle him.
yeah.
Oliveira was just like, yeah, let's go, bang.
On the feet, Chandler still had his
Oliveira's good.
yaos in this fight.
But like, you always have your moments because Oliveira, his hands are low, he keeps his head in one spot. Like if Chandler didn't have his moments on the feet versus Oliveira, really bad signs.
Yeah,
Because Oliveira gets whacked a lot.
yeah. But it was one Chandler had no striking moments in this one, so it's like, yeah, he had that last fight, so and he just
Paddy just dog walked him, whereas Oliveira didn't really dog walk him. But even on the feet against Oliveira, I didn't think he looked great. In like compared to what he's meant to look like.
yeah.
And I think he's getting smashed by these contenders. And yeah, it's like, oh, but I fought the best. Well, then don't tell me you're a contender because you lose to all the contenders. So you're not going to be a title contender if you lose to all the contenders.
He's out of the top 10 now on a 3-fight losers streak, and there's 38. So
I think he's got like 1 or 2 more. You want him to fight for names now.
well, I think he's going to get thrown against another up and comer. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon he'll just be used as a way for someone who's not ranked
To get a rank.
to get a rank.
Or that'll happen. I think he'll get one of those fights and I think he'll get a named fight. Like a guy who's also like Chandler a bit where he's got a name for himself to go, yep, I beat him. And then I'm done. I don't know who it will be, if I'm honest.
I don't know what you do with Chandler.
Like he's kind of in a weird position.
But with Hay, I want to see Gaethje.
You want to see Gaethje?
I want to see Gaethje.
Yeah. I think Oliveira is a bit of a stretch. I think Oliveira, he needs a title shot.
Well, I think Charles and Ilya is happening.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot about that happening.
And then I think that should be like a winner goes to the belt.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe loser versus the winner of Paddy.
Gaethje. Yeah. I could say that. Because that would make Paddy 2 fights away from a title, which I think he needs.
I think it's fair.
I think he needs 2 more.
Yeah, because I think he's going to be a top 5 guy.
Yeah. I think if you give him 1 more, he won't be ready for Islam. I mean, you're never ready for Islam.
Oh, you know it. But
I don't think he's like completely ready yet. Give him 2 more fights. Give him, a top 5 guy in the Gaethje, Poirier, or, and then you give him like an Oliveira to Poirier.
yeah,
That's what I think would be his walk-in. And he has to win both.
Yeah.
Getting the shot. But he's looking really good. He looked amazing. And then on to Alexander the Great, Volkanovski. Absolutely amazing.
I'm just happy he won. I won't lie.
Happy he won.
There was one moment
When he got rocked and he dropped. Yep.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
In the replay, okay, you could kind of see he was already leaning back. He was off balance.
Mhm.
So I felt a bit better after the replay.
But in the moment,
In the moment, I was
sweating, man. I sweat.
it was something.
I'll give this as a good sign. There was a moment in the fight, I don't remember the round, one of the middle rounds, might have been third, might have been second under, where he has thrown the left hook, a right hook, maybe a right hook, and so did Diego Lopez, and they both got caught.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Volk not drop was a good sign.
Well, I think
Because when I saw that replay, I was like, oh, he didn't get dropped. That's really good because I was worried about his chin. Mm-hmm. And so when he didn't get dropped then, and they both copped it, like they both just took that on the chin.
there was a few hits where
And I was quite,
kind of just took him.
and I was like,
It was okay.
yeah, because I was very nervous about Lopez just going bang, lights out.
I was just
But I also thought Lopez,
too.
very, like I was expecting Lopez to come out all guns blazing going, the way for me to win is win early.
Yeah.
Let's get him. And then maybe even let's win 3 rounds straight away. And if I lose the last 2, I still win the fight.
Yeah.
But he came out and he was almost like, oh, I'm looking for the perfect shot. I reckon he's watched Ilya win against Volk and tried to do the same thing. Well, like Ilya came out and he wasn't all guns blazing. Ilya was like, I just need 1 shot.
No.
And he was like working himself into the shot. But Lopez didn't work himself into it.
Topuria was still throwing.
Active.
And he was controlling the pace.
I'm just saying this is what I think
Lopez was pushing and he had Volk on the back foot, but he was still like...
Yeah. I'm just saying that's what I reckon he watched and thought, I'm going to do the same thing. Or I can knock him out in one. But I don't think he did it as effectively as Topuria, because Topuria created the shot. He still applied pressure.
Yeah.
Whereas Lopez didn't apply any pressure.
No.
He was just like, yeah, okay, I'm going to look for the shot when it comes up. Topuria created the shot.
Yeah.
He just didn't look like he was creating anything.
No, I
thought he looked very nervous.
Yeah, he didn't look like the Lopez that
I'm used to seeing. Yeah. It was quite worrying signs, actually, because I was like, oh, I didn't think he had that in him. I thought he was just a confident guy who would come in and throw.
Well, maybe in the back of his head, he was just thinking, like, all right, this is my title fight.
Let's make sure I don't ruin it.
Let's not mess it up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it wasn't a good display from Diego. Where do you think we go with Lopez, though? Because it was a really good fight. So do you give a second? So you don't give him a straight away. I think you give him a contender again.
You give him someone else first, and then give him Volk if you win off of that.
Let's have a look. If I go to UFC rankings,
he's ranked number 2 behind Holloway. Don't give Holloway Volk because Volk's already won 3 times.
Yeah, that's sort of fight you can make.
So maybe you do a Holloway Lopez.
What about Movsar?
Well, I think Movsar's going to get
against
the
Volk.
next title shot.
Yeah, Movsar against Volk.
Or maybe you do Lopez Rodriguez.
I was just about to say, what about Lopez? That could be a good fight.
Well, it's clear that they have, some kind of beef, right? Especially after that, after the presser.
That could be a good fight.
That'd be an entertaining one. Other than that, you're trying to just give it to people that are under. Like, you're not gonna. Like I said, Ilya's gone.
Yep.
I think Movsar is getting the next title shot.
I think he should.
So then you've got Rodriguez, because I think Arnold Allen already has a fight lined up with someone. He's already beat Ortega.
Yeah.
Lerone Murphy just fought. So I think, give him Rodriguez.
Yeah. Another question: who do you have for looking at those rankings now? You obviously got one silver in that division. Yep. Now he's the 11th ranked guy. Who do you give him?
I think you've got a few in the options, right? Like, it depends how high you want him to jump, because you could give him a guy like Aljo. Right?
He hasn't really been that active, yeah.
You could give him a Brian Ortega. So you could give him someone who has a bit more of a name behind them.
I mean, Aljo's got a big name. He used to be a champion. Yes, it was a smaller weight class, but he still used to be a champion.
Or you could give him, like, Lerone Murphy, who's undefeated in the USA. And he might not have as big of a name, but he's good.
Yeah.
So I think it depends what you want to do. I think tough fight. I think Ortega still, it could be a good fight, and I think that's a winnable one. And I think with these up and coming guys, the UFC tends to give them
a bit more of a boxing treatment where they give them fights they should win.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll give you this type of guy. Go beat him. Then we'll give you this type of guy. He's a bit different. Go beat that guy, but they haven't given him all-round guys.
Yeah. Like,
they do that a little bit.
They're working both of them, right? Like, I think
it's like letting them learn on their way up.
Yeah. Like, I think since Murphy is undefeated, they're going to want to keep it that way. And I think Silva would be a good fight. But I think it's one that, either way, it's like a win-lose scenario, right? One of them wins, great. But then the other one, you've got your other prospect who just lost. Yeah. So I think, whereas if you give him Ortega, who's lost 2 in a row, I think now, he's someone, he has a bit of a name behind him, who was a title contender. He's near number 7. The 11-7 matchup isn't one that's like, oh my God, that's such a big
jump. Yeah. I feel like in that, from the range of 6 to, say, 12, they're all pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, well, you beat that guy, that's why you're there. It's not an actual, you're better than him because you're the 7, or it's, oh, well, you just beat this guy at this ranking, whereas that guy beat that guy at that ranking. So I think they're all pretty similar. I do think it'll be interesting where they go, but looking ahead to new UFC cards. The ones coming up, you got 315 coming up. You got a fight night with Gary versus Prates, which I just love eating Gary now. I was never like a massive fan of him.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. I just love him now because I've seen him just take fights. He's not worrying about, but my ranking. He's like, no, I'll just go fight him because I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm just going to fight and I love it.
He just takes him.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know who I have winning. I think it would be a really good fight. I think Gary is a more proven fighter, but that's the whole point for Prates. You're trying to prove him.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really know who I have. I'm going to have a look at it before it comes up not this weekend, next weekend, because Easter weekend. Then we've got 315 to look forward to after Sandhagen Figueiredo fight night on May 11th. Bilal versus JDM. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Aussie.
I think the rest of that card is pretty solid as well. Valentina is the co-main.
Mm-hmm.
Burns Morales was on that, but that got bumped to his own fight night.
Yeah, I'm about sad.
So you've got the Grasso,
Silva, Saint Denis Alvarez, Aldo Zahabi.
There's a couple
of good fights. It's not as big of a card as 314 was, but 314 was a very good card as well.
They've started announcing some for 316 as well, and I think it looks like a really good start.
You got Marab versus O'Malley, which I don't know if O'Malley deserves it. I get he was the ex-champion, but he didn't put up a good performance.
He didn't, but I don't like saying, but he was injured. But if the injury is true and he fought
injured, yeah, I guess that
3-4-5 with one hip because it was broken.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
I just don't think he put in a good performance. I'm surprised he got that rematch. I just think if he was totally injured, wouldn't have we heard about it earlier? It took a while for it to come out.
No, it came out almost straight away. It's just that it didn't come from him.
I don't know. I mean, look, if he goes out there and beats him, I'm wrong. I just don't think he performed well enough in that first fight to earn a second one. I think Marab should face somebody else before he faced Sean again.
He already beat Umar, so it's not like it's an immediate rematch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost been a year.
Like, I wouldn't have minded to see like a Sean Umar fight now. Can't believe Petty Yarn's second ranked guy, actually. Like, how's he still there? Like, I mean, he wins fights, but yeah, that's
He's always there.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. I don't know who I have winning. Probably Marab, if I'm honest. Marab's been really good. He's put in some really good performances lately.
Yeah, he has.
He's looked amazing.
Yes.
But that wraps up episode 7 of the pod. It's actually quite a long podcast from us, can't even lie.
That's all right, bye.
That's good.
That's all right.
So yeah, today we did a different little game, the spin the wheel one. Probably need to look at the rules a bit better for the next time we do it because it's a little bit vague.
We were experimenting,
but we were just like, we can't keep doing start bench cuts. We need to try something.
That's okay. It
was all right. Yeah, obviously my team wins. Obviously,
okay, buddy,
because I picked it and I'm the best coach in the world.
Okay.
But yeah, this was podcast number 7. We talked about our spin the wheel. Then we did the NBA play-in and playoff matchups. Then we did the NBA all NBA selections.
Yeah.
Which I think were quite easy. There actually wasn't too much to talk about in those. It was quite simple. Then we moved into the UFC where we did a recap of 314. Shout out to Alexander Volkanovski. It's amazing he saved my weekend. And then, we talked about the rest of the card as well. Quite good fights, where they're looking to go from here. Before we looked into a fight night coming up and a couple of other fight nights and UFC 315 and 16.
So as usual, if there's anything else that you guys want to say, why? Comment, subscribe, YouTube.
I reckon what we need to try is a UFC game.
The UFC game?
Yeah, game for the UFC.
Let's try and come up with...
Maybe the next week because there's not a fight night this coming weekend. So maybe we need a game for next week to do with the UFC. Instead of doing a recap of anything, we'll just do a game on the UFC.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
But yes, give us ideas of what we need to do. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Make sure you keep watching our videos. We're going to come out with more and more stuff as we go. couple of sponsorships on our way that I think you guys will be keen to see.
Yep.
But yeah, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and come back for more.
Cheers, Rose.
This will end Off the Bench podcast number 7. See ya.